like, yeah, let me go play the tennis because who need a BBL girl naturally shaped good, yeah. Morning, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Revelations, and today, as you can see, we're in a different setting. It's giving very much tropics, it's giving very much vacation. I'm at the beach because really and truly, if it's one thing you need to know about me, I love the beach, not even to go into the water, but just to come, listen to the ocean, chill. I'm very mad that the music in the background is louder than me right now, but we're gonna push through and through. So let's get into the video because today is a story time, a life update on where I've been, what's been going on, and what's been happening. Stay tuned. Okay, so I don't really know if this vlog is gonna work out anymore because when I came here the music was not so loud, but now the music like loud, like swimming in a club, the wind do the most. I don't have anything to cover the mic like to reduce the sound of the wind and all of that, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna listen to it, and I'm gonna see if it's good. If it is, y'all will see this vlog tomorrow, which is today because you're seeing it now. If not, then I'm gonna have to record it again and post it. So let's get into it. Basically, let's just start with my downtime. So I was making videos, I was making weekly vlogs. They were so good. I realized editing them was taking up most of my time, so I got someone to assist me with the editing. However, unfortunately, on April 1st, I would have suffered an injury from tennis. Now, I know you're gonna ask, Jade, you play tennis? Okay, so hear me out. I'm not a fan of the gym. I don't like the gym. I'm never gonna like the gym. Like, it's just not my thing. It's boring to me. Like, I hate that shit. So I was like, let me go and get into some type of sport. So I decided to do tennis. We have a little tennis group for work. So I'm like, yeah, let me go play the tennis because who need a BBL girl naturally shaped good, yeah. No ma'am. No ma'am. So when y'all see me out here with this lipo, don't say nothing because I tried. So basically what happened, I was playing, and tennis, as you know, it's a start and stop sport. And when I say start and stop, it's like you're standing up and suddenly you're going to jet off and run to hit the ball back over. And that's exactly what happened. So the ball was coming to me and I moved off like it was sudden, and unfortunately I tore my Achilles tendon. So a lot of people don't know what the Achilles tendon is, I realize. So I'm just gonna explain it to you. So at the back of your foot, hold on, let me show you. So at the back of your leg, so this is your heel here, and this is your calf, well, my calf of course, and then right here, this, see it flexing up and down, this is your Achilles tendon. So this is what tore for me. Without this, you can't go on your tippy toes, you can't walk. Like, this is what puts it all together. This is what connects your heel right here. This is what connects your heel to the calf to get everything up and running, like right here. So you see that? This is what it's for. There we go. If this is your first time understanding what the Achilles is, then there's actually a story about Achilles heel. You can go and Google it, read up on it. That's not what I'm here for. However, so I tore that, but the one on my right leg. So I just showed you my left leg. I actually tore my Achilles on my right leg. It happened on April 1st, All Fools Day, so kind of strange. Didn't think anybody believed me when I called them and told them. So I went to the hospital. When I went to the hospital, they made me get an x-ray, and they actually sent me home without putting me in a cast or anything. They put me on sick leave, told me to ice my foot, take some ibuprofen, and That was the best they could do for me. Give it up for the hospital people every time. Don't they do it every time? So, you know, April 1st was a Friday. I was home Saturday and I was home Sunday. But on Saturday, for the amount of pain I felt, I was just like, it's no way that something is not broken, something is not wrong. It doesn't feel right. So, you know, me being the smart person that I am, I called a orthopedic surgeon on Monday morning, and I'm like, you know, I need to come and I need to have an emergency appointment because something is wrong with my foot. I went to the hospital. They're trying to tell me to walk on it, and I don't. It's not giving that. So I went to the orthopedic surgeon, and when I went in, he was like, you know, your Achilles is torn. Left the doctor's office in a wheelchair, in a cast, with crutches, the whole works. And the Achilles tendon, it's a very slow healing injury. If you watch basketball or you're into any of those type of sports where the injuries are common, you would know, like, once any of the players get that injury, they're out for a very long time. So basically I was in cast from the 4th of April, right up until about June, maybe. Yeah, like right up until the beginning of June. And after I came out of the cast, I had to go into a boot. And after I went into the boot, I was still on crutches because I actually was not able to put weight on the foot. So weight bearing is something that you can't do right away when you have a torn Achilles and when it heals. There's two ways that you can actually heal an injury like that. You can do it the conservative way, which is in the cast, like what I did, or you can actually have the surgery where they'll stitch it back together for you. For me, like I said, I did the conservative method, so I stayed in cast for a very long time. Hated it. And when I came out, I did the boot, and I gradually got into, you know, weaning off of 2 crutches to 1 crutch, and then I went from 1 crutch to no crutch and just the boot, and then I went from the boot to the brace, and then I went from the brace to now I'm walking. I'm not 100% healed yet. Of course, I'm like at about 90% functionality. I can walk. Of course, sometimes when I wake up every day, like, the Achilles shrinks. So, in my opinion, when I wake up in the morning, like, I don't walk as well as I would be walking by 12 o'clock midday. It's just something that you need to, you know, it's just never going to be the same again for me. Like, I'm just always going to have an issue with my right foot. For the most part, it's good. I can't walk on my tippy toes again as yet. I can't go on my tippy toes as yet, solely on my right foot, and I'm working on keeping balance on my right leg. So that's why I'm so far in terms of progress. I think I'm doing really well, and like at this point, after me come out for 3 months, nobody can talk to me. Like, no, it's hard in this lifetime you can bad me. So if you feel you can bad me, think again, honey, because I could not walk for 3 months. So I'm very grateful, I'm very happy, I'm very thankful. And I wouldn't say it hurt, it burned. So when the Achilles tore, like, it burned. Like, I felt like I had a bad cramp in my calf area, but like, it wasn't a cramp. Like, you know, you get a cramp in your foot, like you just have a drop down and you can't move and just everything just done. Like, it wasn't a cramp like that. Like, it was just burning. Like, it was hot. And I was like, what is happening? Like, I didn't know what was happening. And I felt when it actually happened, basically, I was going to run to get the ball, and I actually stepped back. So I put pressure on my right foot to push me forward. And when I put the pressure on my right foot, the tendon tore. Like, I felt something pop, like a rubber band. Like, let's say you have like 5, 6 thick rubber bands, like, in your hand all at the same time, and they pop all. That's how it felt. And I just fell to the floor, obviously, because my foot can no longer hold my weight up. I actually thought I had a small hairline fracture on my shin. Thank God, whatever it was, it healed in the cast because I could not take any more. Could not take any more. So that's kind of how it felt, like, just burning. So during the process of wearing the cast and stuff, like, I didn't have any pain. What hurt was to walk on it, which the hospital was forcing me to do, which I shouldn't have been doing. And like that's kind of what hurt the most. Learning to walk again. When I was learning to actually put my body weight on that leg, that's definitely something that was like, it felt uncomfortable. It wasn't really like, oh God, it was very uncomfortable. I was very nervous about it. I was scared because I didn't want to have a recurring injury, like the same thing happening again. I didn't want it to re-rupture. So I was very nervous when it came to that. But shout out to my co-workers, because when I went to work, they were on that shit. Like, they were making sure that I gave up the crutches. They were like, no, I will take away crutches, walk on the one crutch. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. Y'all are the best. So yeah, they made sure that I was up running, doing what I was supposed to do. I think what was the hardest thing for me during that process, I would say, is actually going through it, is actually being out of commission, is actually not being able to walk, not being active. Like, if you know me, cannot keep still for shit. Like, I cannot keep still. Like, I'm always on the go, I'm always doing something. If you follow me on Instagram, that's underscore revelations. I love fashion, I love fashion, I love looks, I love dressing up, you know. I like going out, but like, it's not top of my list. But you know, when I do go out, I like to have fun. And I was home for 3 months, not able to do anything. Like, I'm home, I'm not working, like, I'm not getting paid. Like, like, just nothing is happening. So mentally, it was so frustrating for me. It was frustrating. And I know everybody say, oh, you know, you get a vacation, nowhere for 3 months, need a home and lie down and relax. No, it's different. It's different when you're home because you're home on your terms versus when you're home by force. And we all experience COVID, so I think everybody knows what I mean when I say that, because there were home bodies who had the opportunity to be at home continuously. But when the government forces you to be home continuously, it's different. You know, it felt different, and I had a very, very hard time with it, because the things that made me happy, I wasn't eligible to do them. For me, I didn't post anything about it on my socials because I have this thing where I don't necessarily share what's happening when it's happening. You know, I don't mind sharing things about my life because I live a life where I have nothing to hide. I don't have anything to pretend. I mean, yes, I like keeping certain things about my life private. However, I have no problem in sharing once it's passed, because I just feel like people can be people, you know, and people can genuinely wish you well, and people can genuinely wish you negatively, you know. So for certain things, like, I don't really share it. So while I was going through that process and I was going through that moment of vulnerability and that hardship, I didn't share anything, and I also was not in the mental space to share anything. Like, I would never understand how, you know, people can just run to social media like with every little thing that's happening within their life. It's so hard to do, because if I'm experiencing something and I post it on social media, like, I just don't see how that's gonna help me at this given time. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it does for some people, maybe it doesn't for me. But if I need to speak about it, like, I'm going to somebody who I know, like my best friend, you know, my mom, like somebody could, God, like, I'm gonna talk to somebody who can respond to me, who's looking out for my best interest, who cares about me, who can say, you know, everything is gonna be okay and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, people can say that on social media, but at the same time, I don't know. Just never said well with me. I just don't know about it. Now, my take on it is that I speak about it now and after the fact, because my take on it is that there's somebody who could possibly be going through the same thing. They could, but not necessarily the same scenario where they're tearing at Achilles. Like, let's be real. Somebody could be going through a scenario where they are in a hard spot, you know, they're going through some form of hardships and they feel alone. And damn, why the music getting louder? Okay, they could be in a place where they're going through some form of hardships, they feel alone, they feel like, you know, just mentally not there, emotionally not there, just really down and out. And I feel like all the time we show the good that's happening in our lives. Um we show when, you know, we graduated, we show when we got the new car, we show when we got the keys to the house, but we often forget to show the process, the hardships of getting it, you know, the late nights of doing projects and homework, the group work that drive you crazy because we're gonna be in the group no matter no work. We don't show these things. So sometimes people, obviously if you don't show that, the process, it looks easy. It looks easy to everybody else, and to somebody sitting at home going through hardship, they're like, how the hell am I gonna achieve that when I'm in this situation? You know, so I want to share, I want to be more vulnerable, more open to share parts of my life, maybe after the fact, not necessarily while it's happening, because I want to help somebody who's possibly going through that. I want to help somebody who's possibly experiencing that. I don't want that, you know, I could have made a difference and I could have turned the situation around for somebody, and I didn't because I wanted to just, you know, make it look like everything is all glitz and glam. It's not always all glitz and glam. It's not always perfect. It's just not, that's not how it works, and it will never be that way. So on this channel, raw, unfiltered, uncut, this is what it's about. I was down for 3 months with a torn Achilles, going through the process of having it healed, to the doctor trying to scam me, to trying to find a new doctor to get a second opinion because this don't sound right, to the hospital sending me home without actually doing a full examination to see exactly what was wrong with me, to not being paid while I'm on sick leave. Like, so that's 2.5 months at home without a salary, but I still have bills to pay. I still have responsibilities, you know, and you feel like you're not going to get through that process, and you feel like down on yourself from paying friggin' 5K just to figure out you need a surgery. You ain't even got to the surgery yet. You have not even done the surgery yet, and you've already spent $5,000. And you still have bills to pay at the end of the month, and you still have no salary, no income coming in. Like, it is not something that's easy. It's something that's hard, and I had to endure that, and I had to go through it, and I took it one day at a time. I took it one day at a time. I prayed. I asked God to help me, to just help me through it, because I understand that everything we go through in life is for a reason. You see what I'm saying? And your experiences are what make you who you are. Your circumstances make you who you are. So if that did not happen to me, I would not think the way I'm thinking now. It taught me to slow down, take it back a minute, think, really process things, really see how I feel about things. It helped me to be by myself, like really lay down and be by myself, because that's all I could do. Like, I just had to sit with myself. I had to understand myself on a different level. I experienced so many growing pains during this injury. Like, it's crazy, you know. And growing pains is such a funny thing, because sometimes you're like, oh my God, you know, I don't feel like myself. Why am I not doing this anymore? Like, I used to want to go out and do whatever, and now I'm just trying to stay home. And you start forcing yourself to go out thinking that, you know, something is wrong, but it's probably not that. It's probably just you've outgrown doing that, and you're ready to go on to something else. But because that's what you knew yourself to do, you're thinking you're out of whack. But sometimes you're really not. Sometimes you're just growing up, and you're just growing out of those things. So you want to do more. You want to do something different. You want to chill at home with a book. You know, you want to try a new recipe. You want to do anything else but what you usually do, and that's okay. It's okay to experience those things. It's okay to go through those things. Like, nothing is wrong with that. You know, there's even friends that, or people around you that you would love to be around, and you you love to hang out with, and lately you don't feel that way anymore. You don't feel as enthused to do that, and it's okay, because it's a possibility that what they were doing or what you were doing then doesn't necessarily interest you anymore. You want to do something else, and it's okay. Like, you don't have to fight it. What you need to do is sit down and like actually think and understand and learn yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, have confidence in who you're becoming, and to like not be afraid of it, not to fight it, because like it's gonna happen regardless. So you fighting it just gonna have your look crazy. You know, just slow down, take time to understand, take time to feel it out, take time to get to know yourself, because to me, you're always evolving. As humans, I feel like we're always evolving. We're never going to be the same. The person who I am now was not the person who I was 3 months ago. And when I say person, I mean as in the mindset, the way how I would handle situations. It's a little different now, because I would have had an experience that changed that. And sometimes we have to understand, as we go through life, we're having experiences that change our mindset. It changed the way we think about situations, and how we would handle a situation 2 months ago is not how we would handle a situation now. And we have to accept that we always have to remain self-aware. Always. I think a lot of times we are not very self-aware. I think we burden people a lot of times with like you know, our little flaws and whatever. And I understand everybody has flaws, but you really need to stop and check yourself sometimes. I feel like we don't check ourselves, and it's something that needs to happen. I feel like we don't know ourselves, and sometimes I also feel like we're not honest with ourselves. Like, that's another thing. Like, be honest with yourself, because if you're not honest with yourself, then who's going to be honest with you? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, everything you want for yourself, everything you want for the universe to give you, you have to give that to yourself first. You have to give it to yourself first. So if you want to become a better version, well, the best version of yourself, you need to know about yourself. You need to understand yourself. You know what I say? You need to understand yourself. Like, it's a real thing. You need to understand yourself. You need to learn yourself. You need to spend time with yourself. You need to see what you really love, because these external factors will have an effect on you. They'll affect how you do things. You need to know yourself and be sure in yourself, so other things don't affect you and who you are. You stay solid in who you are. That's basically the point of the fact of the matter is. So you can be solid in who you are, and you can be solid in everything you do, and so solid in it that when minor hardships come about, or obstacles come about, or trials come about, that you can cross that bridge confidently, that you know within yourself, listen, I know this is a hardship, but it's not gonna last forever. The hard times have to come so that we can appreciate the good days with the sunshine and the rainbows and all these other great things. So I'm basically just making this video to say, oh, this lady over there is watching me because I'm talking to my camera, but I'm just gonna continue. I'm basically making this video to say, you know, if you're going through it, if you're experiencing a hard time, if things are not exactly going your way, hold the faith, stay strong, be fearless. You will get through it, because God doesn't give us more than we can bear, and He is with you. The situation that you're in now is happening for a reason. It's happening for a reason, and you're going to come out of it with your head held high. It's not gonna last forever. And every day you wake up, you do the best you can to make the situation you're in better. Don't just sit down and complain about it. Don't just come on social media and say, oh, you know, we can't deal with this. Don't come here and cry. Don't do none of that shit. Get up every day and do the best you can to get out of that situation, because it's gonna happen and you're gonna get out of it, and you're not alone in it. God is walking with you through your situation. You understand what I'm saying? Don't ever feel like you're alone. Don't ever feel, even if family is around you, friends are around you, God is with you. He is walking with you. Walk by faith and not by sight. Not because you can't see the better days coming, it doesn't mean that the better days are not coming. They're coming, and they're gonna come and welcome you. They're gonna pull up with open arms. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't go raising any notes because it's not necessary. You are strong. You are amazing. You are a king or a queen, whoever is watching this, and you will make it through because God is with you. It doesn't matter who's wishing bad on you, who's plotting against you, who's working against you. They will not succeed. They will not succeed. You are going to overcome. And that's not on that big pearl. Because look at me now, honey. I overcame. And you know, honestly, my situation was not a situation that was anybody's fault. It's not like I slipped, it's not like I tripped. Like, I was just innocently trying to get some exercise, so I ain't had to do no BBL. But it didn't work out that way. And for 3 months I had to really relax and understand and learn myself, and things that used to bother me or things that I used to care about, like, I don't really care about anymore because none of it matters. At the end of the day, none of it matters. Health is wealth. That is the most important thing. Health is wealth, because let me tell you something. When you're not healthy or you're down and out, your job no needs you. You can't go hang out with your friend and them and drink up and this, that, and the other. Like, it's like, if you're not healthy, like, what can you, it stops you from doing things. So you need to take care of yourself first before anything else. I just want y'all to know I'm here to share more with you guys, to be more vulnerable, to keep y'all more up to date, to just, yeah, because you just never know who you're helping, and I'm all for helping people. And honestly, in my older age, like, I wish, now that I'm older, like, I wish that there was somebody who told me certain things when I was younger, you know, because things have changed so much, where, you know, social media has become such a thing, this big thing where people are doing things literally just for social media, like doing things that they wouldn't even normally do, you know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be that, because who are we trying to impress? Who are we trying to impress? Why are we trying to impress other people who at the end of the day probably don't even give a rat's ass about us? Like, that's another major topic for me, and I think I'm gonna have a video separate and apart from this one, just kind of discussing the pressures of social life and social media and, you know, society and validation and stuff like that, because it's a topic that I really want to touch on, because I see a lot of things and I think we can do better. And I think sometimes because our parents, well, for certain age groups, our parents were not in the era of technology and social media, so they would not groom us necessarily, saying specifically, you know, don't go on Instagram and share things just for attention, because Instagram was never a thing. They're more gonna say, you know, don't keep bad company and stuff like that, because those were things that back in their time was stuff that they had to be aware of. So it's not something that they would say to us now, because things have changed so much. So for me, it's just like, you know, if I can be a voice on social media saying you don't have to feel pressure, you don't have to feel embarrassed for going through hardships, you don't have to feel embarrassed for being in a situation that anybody could be in. And I know sometimes as people watching on, we have a lot of opinions, we pass a lot of judgment, and we have the most to say about someone in a situation, when the reality of it is, if you were to stand in their shoes, you may not have even lasted as long as they have. You may not have even be able to overcome the situation. So that doesn't mean that we're supposed to pull them down. It doesn't mean that we're supposed to step on them when they're going through hard times. It means that we need to uplift them and we need to help them, because our brother or our sister needs help. You know what I'm saying? And if I can be the helping voice by just talking to you on social media, and just for you to know that, hey, I go through it too. I have hardships too. Like, I have to find ways how to get my way out of situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes people feel better knowing, you know, I thought my life was crazy, but I'm not the only one, even if it is. There's somebody else out there who is going through it, and they're living, getting up every day, living happy, joyous. Why can't I do it too? Why am I only looking at the negative in my life? Why not look at what's happened that's positive? And if you can have someone that can look at, to remind you of that, not to say to want because I'm doing, you need to do it, to remind you that even though everything is not going the way you want, like, there are a lot of things that are. And sometimes we forget to focus on the things that are, because we're too busy dwelling on what's not, and we don't really realize how good we have it and how great our life is and how grateful we should be for all of our blessings. So yeah, that's what I'm here to do, and that's what I'm here to share with you. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Drop a comment below if you want to see more videos like this. Drop some questions below that y'all want to see me answer. Drop some topics below. Please give me some topics that y'all want me to discuss, because every time you put up on Instagram, I attempt like one bunch of trippiness. So let's try this here on YouTube. And remember to comment. Don't just watch the video and listen nothing. Comment, sweetheart. If you like it, check the like. That's another thing. On social media, like, y'all don't say nothing. But when you see me in person, oh my god, I love your videos and I watch all of them. Okay, but I don't see you liking any of them. I don't see you commenting on any of them. Do you share them? It doesn't hurt. It really doesn't hurt. Sometimes we talk to people and we're afraid for everybody else to see that we talk and interact with them. Don't be fake. Don't speak to me if you don't want anybody to know you speak to me. Thank you. Keep that fake energy over there, because we don't do that over here. That's not the rebel way. Exactly. So have a great day, my rebels. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Tune in again for another video when it drops. Thank you for watching. Bye.